Vitality stands to take a second regional for themselves, but Karmine Corp froths with revenge. Will the old big bads of EU reign again, or are we in a new era?
The desk says EU is tiered, but there are dry eyes in the house. Those belonging to Team Vitality. And CJ, my wonderful, brilliant, beautiful co-caster, how on earth did Karmine Corp win this grand final? Please tell me.
It'd just be an enormous feat to respond after that 4-0. I mean, the upper final, ladies and gentlemen, that was a shellacking. Vitality taking them to school here against K-Corp, but they've got to run it back. They've got to do it again in the grand finals. K-Corp will have to do it twice, however. The bracket reset is imminent.
Well, hopefully, as far as K-Corp fans are concerned, the Blue Wall will be thinking, yes, let's hope it is imminent. And Karmine Corp have had a relatively simple journey in this double elimination bracket as they start off this first game well. Not too many difficult opponents in that upper bracket until they met Vitality and got 4-0'd by them. Then they return in the lowers, 4-0 Team BDS, but as we're seeing, CJ, Vitality are just built different.
It's just starting to not just feel like they're regional, they're split, but maybe their entire esport right now, Vitality. It could be them versus the whole world. And right now, everything going to plan. The 50-50s even finding their way into the net, opening it up here. Vitality and Alpha 54 being the veteran, if you would, of this team, which is crazy to say.
It's funny as well that Team Vitality, they come out in Zen's first regional, they win that. They win it the first time they've played with him. Then they come into the second regional and they look even better. There's even more shades to their game. You know, the first goal coming from a 50-50, they're not reliant on any one playstyle.
It sounds like we've said it 100 times by now, but they haven't lost the series yet. I know we talked about the last series in the upper final as well. I mean, Zen was popping off. He was pre-jumping. He was going for dunks that turned into redirects downfield. I think that at this point, Cole, he's squashed all the concerns about him not being able to step up at this time, but the shot off the ceiling from Exotic has almost just at least kept us quiet a little bit about this Zen hype.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Karmine Corp hype to contend with as far as Vitality are concerned, but Alpha's coming forwards, tries to juke and weave his way through all three Karmine Corp defenders. Hopefully what we've seen in this first 90 seconds is that KC won't be embarrassed by Vitality, the same way they were in that first series. They did have chances, but here's a chance for Radosinho, as he goes by in-game, or Radosin, as we know him here. Tira's touch is only as far as Alpha, who can't commit with the double. Itachi's coming forwards, and KC just having a few half chances here in the early days.
Yeah, they're getting settled into this game. The 50-50 first goal won't be something that they'll love. However, it just felt like, Viteri talked about it. He mentioned it on Twitter. I'm not sure about the correct translation. Johnny gave us 8 definitions of it, but it just seemed like they were in their own heads a little bit against Vitality. And this is what it can happen against these top players, these top teams. You almost overthink every situation and stop playing your way. Fortunately enough, Cole, they've got to, they can run it back. This is a rinse and repeat. They get another crack at Vitality, but we need to see a better K-Corp than what we saw in that upper final.
I mean, if I tried to translate Johnny's Scottish tweets, I'd struggle even more than he did translating Vatira's earlier, so no harm done. Itachi's coming in, almost getting himself and Karmine Corp their first goal of the series. Is Exotic on the side. Radosin just trying to get this ball away. Vatira is there, and Karmine Corp so far have impressed me. They don't seem fazed by Vitality, and if Johnny's translation was correct, that they just get spooked every time they play the team in yellow, it doesn't seem to be happening here. There's a chance again for Vatira! Saved by Alpha, but more opportunities for Karmine Corp.
Vitality's defense has gone under the radar as well. I feel like we're always looking at their offense, the way that they can just pull a goal out of nowhere, but they've really been locked in defensively, and it's caused so many issues for K-Corp down that end. And again here, we're seeing the offensive pressure from K-Corp. They're stepping up, but they're just not quite finding a way through this Golden Hornets defense, and they're just got to leave it open down the other end. Radosin gets the second from Vitality as K-Corp just overcommit everywhere.
Vitality normally have all the pressure and all the ball, but in this game, there have been 7 shots for Karmine Corp, and that, CJ, is only the second for Vitality. Now, my maths isn't great, but that to me looks like at least a 99% hit rate.
This goes to show that Vitality are pretty flexible with their play style as well. They're playing this counter-attack style, perhaps knowing that K-Corp will be coming out swinging. They are the team that's warm. They just had that victory over BDS, and I mean, Vitality are handling it nicely here. I don't mind the counter-attack style. It's worked so far. 2 goals, 2 shots. And K-Corp need to get one back. They need to find some momentum, or it's going to start looking like that upper final again.
Ferrer's whiteboard is currently glistening in the sunlight. It's amazing the team tactics have gone into Vitality, as you mentioned, CJ. The playstyle working perfectly for them. Counter-attack Karmine Corp. Let them get their frustrations out on you and then punish them as soon as their backs are turned. Working flawlessly up to now. He's going to come forwards again. He gets underneath the balls, then turns it down, just lets Alpha go by himself. Solo play is still such a huge weapon for Team Vitality. And look at that read from Radosin. And when reads like that from the ceiling are working that well, you know it's your day, your tournament. Wow, but Exotic, his floor pinch wasn't bad either. Unfortunately for him, gets too much on it. Then Zen pitches it right back. That hits the post, and Exotic pips it to the side.
This is just different Rocket League right now. We're using the wall as a fourth teammate here, and the counter-attack maybe touching at the first. No, 50-50 by Zen. Vitality, it's Exotic, it's Zen, either side going for these pinch plays. I don't mind it. Trying to find an avenue into net, and Vitality's still 2-0 up, 20 seconds left. The counter-attacks, Cole, have been working. Vatira almost out of position there with 15 on the clock, but this has been workmanlike from Vitality. They're happy to defend if it means they can score down the other end. Maybe Radosin from the heavens goes whack. And a third from Vitality. Is there anything this team can't do?
Oh, the pre-jump onto the ceiling, then the double, smash it home as well. A clean finish at the end of all that. Radosin, he may have dropped the Team Vitality decal, which I'm still slightly annoyed about Radosin, but my goodness, he hasn't dropped his skill levels.
K-Corp just don't have any answers now. They can't find an opening. They've had more shots than anything here. 7 in game 1, 4 to Vitality, but no goals on the board. And it feels like that upper final all over again. I don't know if they need a timeout here after game 1. But Vitality, they just have stepped up time and time again. They've got answers to all of K-Corp's questions.
Would you take the timeout now?
I'd take the timeout. I'd take the timeout game 1. They're not finding that style here. We saw it in the upper final as well. Vitality using those counterattacks. We saw, Exotic getting caught third man a couple of times in those 2-on-1s, air dribble bump situations. We're seeing it again. There is some offense from K-Corp, but if it comes at the cost of, that high risk, high reward gameplay, Vitality are capitalizing every day of the week. I'd nearly go the timeout. We're not seeing it. However, it's 3-0 start there, and they're looking clinical, this Vitality team.
Oh, clinical is the precise word for the way that Team Vitality play. You think they're under the cosh. You think they're going to be struggling in some way, in some second, and then next thing you know, they've scored against you. They've just got that 30 boost extra, and Radosin's used it to get the double tap. I think what's terrifying about Vitality is that every single one of their players mechanically is capable of everything. We're all talking about Zen, CJ, but Radosin and Alpha, they're almost the forgotten men, but they're still that good.
Yeah, Radosin's having the tournament of his life right now. He's certainly stepping up. It feels like there really is not a third man, not a weak link on this lineup, which is why they haven't even lost the series yet, which is crazy to say in a touch. He does get the first goal of the series for K-Corp right off the bat.
We saw earlier on that an early goal can't always necessarily work for you in the Moist versus BDS series. Both teams got an early one and then ended up losing 4 or 5-1. But hopefully for KC, it just gives them something to kick on from. And I think it could be important for their mentality if they play it right from here.
Yeah, well, for the first time, we're seeing K-Corp lack confidence, or maybe that belief in themselves. And sometimes a goal can do a world of good for that side of things. The mental game, the brain, what's going on upstairs is Exotic does catch the ball on the sidewall. 50-50, Alpha 54 gets beaten out. Zen's in trouble. Radosin is so deep on the rotation. We'll be able to get this one out of net. And the instant counter-attack as well. The Vitality special. They just bait you in, feel like you've got an attack, and then it's straight down the other end.
I'm sure Karmine Corp, with Everstacks in their ears, will have that in mind, though, as well this game. They're not going to be shocked as much by how deep Vitality defend and how quickly they counter-attack you would expect. But it's one thing to know what Vitality are going to do. It's quite another to actually deal with it. Karmine Corp up to now with Vatira buying himself some time. Unfortunately for him, the ball's right in his way, so he's going to have to guess where the Vitality defenders are. He does incredibly, actually, to get the ball all the way down to the orange end. And they're keeping Vitality pinned. Last time, it was the exact same look, but there was no goal to break through Vitality. This time, KC have their reward.
I love this slower approach from K-Corp as well. They're just not being prone to the attacks. The fake's coming out, the 50-50 Zen's there and gets the beat over the top of Touchy. He has a flip. He's pulled that out of nowhere. Not sure. Could be cheating. Radosin gets the 50-50. Alpha 54 double commit. Vitality do get out of net, but this is the counter. Vatira does get the beat out. The bounce up doesn't help Exotic, and the demo won't help Zen either. K-Corp still on attack. Vatira keeping the pressure on. Radosin's there. Double done. Exotic's overcommitted again.
No.
It's K-Corp's worst nightmares coming to life.
Oh, it's all of us who want a bracket reset's worst nightmares as well. Itachi, he thought he had the ball in the palm of his hand, but Radosin dragged it away from him with one cruel, cruel dunk. Vitality equalize, and again, out of absolutely nowhere. It's one shot, it's their first shot, and it came from a dunk, and they've scored from it.
The slow play will work for K-Corp, but not if you're going to overcommit there. There was no third man. Exotic just going for that all-or-nothing positioning there last and got caught out. A free goal for Vitality. You just can't give them goals. They've got to get the confidence. Radosin flip reset beats one. No power on it, however. Zen's up quick, almost gets the skim on net. Everything feels like it's going in. Alpha 54 doesn't care about it. Now Zen's left last man. Vatira's looking for the bumps. He can't quite get it. He's committed. Does get the boost, however, K-Corp. They're going to be able to keep some pressure on. Zen in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know if he's ever feeling like he's in trouble the way he's playing. Itachi now, infield pass. Vatira, shot goes wide, no follow-up either. That could have been another one for K-Corp.
You have to take those chances, but Casey are going to keep on coming. Itachi, he slows it down, takes himself a couple. Bumps are flying in left, right, and center. Zen seems to be unbothered by any of that and just gets the ball to the side, and Vitality survive another wave of attack. This is where Karmine Corp have to keep up their concentration. They don't want to be counted for a second time in this game alone, a fifth time overall. When you take into account the 3 in the first game, Itachi's going to beat Zen here, goes to the ceiling. Vatira up against Radosin, and Karmine Corp are beating Vitality to the ball. Vitality getting away with it for now, but it's scary if you're a Vitality fan.
It is scary, but we've seen the counterattacks before. 7 shots to K-Corp. All of a sudden, Vitality just get one. They get the counter. That's what they need. Radosin's in trouble. Pops the ball up to Exotic. This could be the best opportunity right now off the ceiling. Does he get the touch? No, Zen's there. Clears the ball out. K-Corp's trying to just find another offense. Vitality have other ideas. Great beat from Exotic. Zen now boost to work with. Alpha's looking for bumps. He's going aerial. He's going high. No boost. And Itachi pre-jumps. We're still at 1-1 Cole. There's been a lot of attack, but not too much to show for at either end.
Good bravery from Karmine Corp there. Not getting itchy when Zen had the ball. Going to him at the right moments, using your boost well, but Zen does charge down the Karmine Corp player. Radosin's coming in now. Zen refusing to rotate out, so Radosin is going to use that space that he's been cleared. It's actually going to win this one cleanly, though, and Radosin on the way out was getting just nibbled into by Vatira, who wouldn't let him free. Karmine Corp continuing to attack. A couple of Vitality players in their own corner. That's not ideal. It's a shot from Itachi. It's the perfect placement from Itachi. 2-1.
For the first time, Vitality caught out in defense here. Everyone front post. Zen committed for the save. Radosin's there front post. Everyone in the corner, which means the top right is wide open. And Itachi, he is too classy to that. He's always going to finish there. Finds the angle, finds the shot. And K-Corp, what a response. What a way to fight back into this game.
Team Vitality have won 2 best-of-7s in a row by 4-0. Haven't conceded a game in the best-of-7 stage of this tournament yet. Now they find themselves 45 seconds away from doing just that to one of the teams that they 4-0'd. Such is the improvement from Karmine Corp. The mental game so much stronger than earlier on in the upper bracket final. Vatira's already up, not letting Radosin go anywhere. Exotic just waiting for Alpha. Alpha's going to keep on coming. Zen's taken out the game, and so is Radosin. Vatira has a chance to at least steal some seconds. Does that and gets it to Itachi.
That's smart. He wouldn't be able to get the shot on net. The spawn was coming through from Zen, so he just killed time off the clock. Alpha 54, Vitality trying to find an angle. Zen sitting deep, does find a pass across. I don't mind it. Here's an opportunity. Alpha 54. Vatira, he's out there. Wait, no, he gets the save. Radosin over there as well. Vitality almost had the equalizer, and it's still up in the air. Zen off the ceiling. Exotic there. Pre-jumps, but he misses. The ball hits the ground. K-Corp hold on. That was absolutely frightening for the team in blue, but Vatira held strong.
Exotic, you terrifying man. I don't think that fake was intentional. I think that was a straight-up panic miss. Maybe I'm being unfair, but, maybe it was the light from the sun coming into his window that has no curtain, which still tilts me, but it's all right, I'll get over it. Karmine Corp take a massive game. Vitality, at least partly, CJ, have been felled.
Yeah, it's not just tying up the series here for K-Corp. It's just getting a game win. They got swept. It was 4-0 in the upper final. They have to know that Vitality, they can lose a game. They can be defeated in some way or another, and they found it here. A great response. They chose that slower offense, the build-up play. They did get caught out with a counter-attack out of nowhere. It seemed like Exotic was a little bit in no man's land, but apart from that, that was a much better game from K-Corp.
Hey, look, you can see there the sun in his eyes, looking to his window, thinking, why did the sun get in my eyes? Someone put something over that poor old curtain rail. But it's a great performance from Karmine Corp. It must have been frustrating when they were dunked just so hard by Radosin. They're the moments where your comms, there must just be that split second of, oh my goodness, are we about to tilt?
I mean, it's just got to do wonders for their mentality here, K-Corp. Getting the win, tying the series up. They know that Vitality are vulnerable. They've changed up the game style, gone for that slower offense, like I said. But maybe their kickoffs need to do other improvements right here. Vitality, right off the bat, almost get a goal. But if you're just watching, just watch for this slower build-up. Even Itachi here, he's slowing it down. They're making sure they're not over-committing in offense and just taking their time a little bit more. Not just trying to bite off that first shot, that first opportunity. They're grabbing the boost and they're just trying to lock it in that orange half. And again, Vitality out of position. Exotic gets the first on the board.
Not sure what happened there. Radosin seems to be in a good position and then just carried on across the top of the goal, exactly where Zen was. Zen wasn't expecting it. And Exotic, he saw the whole thing happen and gratefully placed the ball in the goal, 1-0.
They just locked each other front post and a bit of a mishap there. As I said, defensively, Vitality have looked flawless so far, but last game and then the start of this one, we've just seen a few positional mistakes. Players getting caught front post, right on each other's backs, and that's been costly here. Zan trying to get an instant equaliser over to Radosin, goes wide, and it may be too wide for an Alpha 54 shot, but still made Vatira pre-jump. He was a little bit worried about that one. Now K-Corp on the counter-attack. Alpha 54 with a great touch central and the demo as well for the follow-up. I mean, the end of this attack from K-Corp from the blue wall as Zen is he's just freestyling in his own half. He's feeling it.
For the third game in a row, though, Karmine Corp have more of the play and more of the opportunities. Zen, he'll get the save this time. But it's another clean hit in Vitality's half. That's the last thing that they'll want, no matter how good their defending is. Especially one or two mistakes are starting to come in. Maybe a little bit of fatigue showing. Maybe a little bit of complacency from Vitality. Who knows? Something that's just tweaked somewise. That's what Karmine Corp are doing well. It's making it happen. Exotic sends that one to the side, and Vatira, desperate to get in and charge down Zen, and they're bumps for him to get. He's looking for them on the backboard now. Gets a flip reset from no angle at all. And Radosin can take the ball away, but Vitality not looking too comfortable in game number 3.
K-Corp's challenge game stepping up. That's open. Vatira does get the save. The demo came through on Itachi, which left their defense vulnerable. Exotic going for the pre-jump. Not sure about that, maybe a little bit too confident, but it just goes to show their mentality has shifted. Before, they were so concerned about every possible touch, thinking Zen's going to get a quadruple, quintuple flip reset every time, but now they're relying on their instincts, on their challenge game. They're one of the best teams in the world at 50-50s and keeping possession, and they're finally bringing it to Vitality. They're playing their own style. It's good to see.
The ball is stuck in the Vitality corner. Itachi not letting it go. And Exotic should be able to get around this one with boost as well. He gives himself a wider berth. Alpha wasn't expecting it, so the 50-50. Actually, it falls to Radosin. Good read up and good sweep up there from the Frenchman. Goes into the center where Alpha is waiting and just pips it towards Exotic, who can take a touch. Vitality coming back on the attack. There's a chance here for a shot. Still 1-0 down Vitality, and still 1-0 down Vitality, because Karmine Corp, despite a Vitality shot or two, defending well. Maybe that changes here. Zen tries to just bundle his way through, but it's too central. There's no width. Everything looking a little bit simple for Karmine Corp to defend.
A few huge pre-jumps defensively from Itachi has been enormous here on defense. They've got no boost though. Alpha 54's flip reset blocked out by Exotic. Still on attack here. Vitality. Itachi trying to work it out. He's got no boost. Alpha's got room to work with, but the first touch, it's just not what he wanted there. They still have the boost. They still have control. This ball pinching out will give space to Alpha, but he's got 0 as well. It feels like no one on the pitch could find the boost at the right time. Vatira air dribbling it out, 50-50. Great beat from Exotic. Follow-up shot, just a little bit. No power and not much of an angle on it either. Itachi, 50-50. K-Corp on attack. Alpha 54 can't get the touch. Now he does across the field. K-Corp, it feels like it's their turn to start something, their turn to attack. Itachi blocked out by Zen. Is there another follow-up coming through? But again, Alpha too fast.
This is where Karmine Corp's defensive play, their patient movements forward start to pay dividends. When they do up the pace, suddenly Vitality look a little bit lackluster. They're second to every ball. Karmine Corp shocking Team Vitality, allowing themselves to be downloaded and then completely switching up their play style. Karmine Corp attacking all the way to the end, clutching on to that win. So desperate for it, but Zen's coming forward. Can't get past Vatira again. Alpha around the corner. Itachi's just going to send it on its way. More good defending from Karmine Corp. It falls to Radosin. Charged down again by Karmine Corp. Zen's turn is just over, and it's missed by Radosin. Alpha can only go high. Alpha gets the second touch. Radosin's there. Is anyone going to put this ball in the back of the net? They were gonna, but Vatira, Karmine Corp's hero so many times, comes in clutch, sends Vitality back again, maybe for the last time, but no, he's there again, CJ.
This is a superhuman performance. Counter-attack, exotic free double touch, read out by Radosin on the backboard. Vitality could not find a way through. Zen should have scored, but he put no power on the shot. Vatira made the save now with 15 seconds left. Is it going to be K-Corp taking a serious lead? Or is Alpha 54 saved out by Exotic again? Itachi clears the ball downfield. 5 seconds on the clock. Can Alpha 54 push it forward? Zen pass across, blocked out. Radosin's there. Alpha's ready for the pass off the corner. Itachi again gets the clear. Vitality trying to keep this ball up. K-Corp doing anything they can to kill it, but they can't quite yet. There it is. Alpha puts it on the ground. K-Corp, what a response. They grabbed game 2 and now they get game 3.
I might have missed scene because the camera cut away just when it was happening, but I'm pretty sure Vatira had a huge reaction just to winning that game right there. There was an explosion of emotion going 2-1 up in a series. This is the man who's normally so calm and collected. That was full fist bumps there from Vatira. They are feeling it now.
Vitality taking the timeout as well. I tell you what, they haven't taken too many timeouts so far this split. When you're winning all the time, that can tend to happen, but now let's see what Farah can cook in the kitchen here, the coach of Team Vitality. We saw he had the whiteboard wheeled in earlier. The size of the thing, he had 3 essays on it as well. I'm not sure what he was telling the boys. Zen didn't look too interested, but maybe now he's going to be receptive to some advice, to some feedback if they can find a way back in, because K-Corp definitely had a change up there in game 2, as I said. They went for they focused on their challenges. They picked up their pace and were able to lock the ball in a little bit more, helping each other out in offense. That's been a world of good for this side, but now it's back on Vitality to answer back.
And Vitality are surely going to be able to mix things up themselves. You know, they've got Farah there. He's talking them through it all. There's a million different trajectories this series could go as far as Team Vitality are concerned. But as of right now, Karmine Corp's playstyle is working an absolute treat about a team that an hour ago people were calling unbeatable, people were calling the best in the world. Remember Karmine Corp? You know, they're really looking like strong contenders, and they're defending as well. I mean, how on earth did they keep that one out?
I mean, this looks like a K-Corp against any other team in the world right now. It felt like they had a mental block against Vitality, particularly in that upper final earlier today, but they found a way to respond. They've had the rematch, and so far they are not wasting this second opportunity here. And just notice how much... We saw a couple of overcommits early, but they put a rest to that. They put a stop to that in game 2, and they sorted it out. They stopped overcommitting third man. They focused on their challenges. They started playing as a team. And since then, well, Vitality look a little bit rattled. It's almost like the shoe's on the other foot now. The ball's in the other court.
Well, this is where there's a different sort of pressure on Team Vitality. You're coming in Zen's first regional, and if you finish third, fourth, whatever, people think, oh, that's really good for a first regional. But as soon as you win it, there's this expectation that you're going to win everything. And then when you get to the major, that you're going to win that. And then when you get to Worlds, that you're going to win that. And the pressure builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. This is the first time we've really seen Team Vitality put under the cosh in a best of 7, you know, in the knockout moments of a tournament. And we're going to get to see what their metal is made of. But Vatira, he's heavy metal. He set it all the way up for Exotic. Radosin still gets the save. It remains 0-0.
There's no way he's recovered off that save, off his own corner, off the side post, inside the net. Radosin with a double save. Now Zen faking out, no boost to work with. Radosin has been the subtle, the hidden MVP for Vitality this regional. And he's showing up again where it counts here. Game number 4, Vitality looking to tie up this series. And saves like that, opportunities like that can go a long way to getting this done.
Yeah, Radosin and his slimy ASMR boost that's coming out of his multicolored Fennec is doing some serious work for Team Vitality at the moment. Huge performance from him, keeps it at 0-0. But it's a 0-0 that overall Vitality will be much happier with Karmine Corp will be much happier with than Team Vitality. Double pinches for Exotic. He can take a touch here. How's his 50 game? Alphas is a little bit stronger. Then he's bumped out the way. Rodostin up against Exotic. Doesn't get the bull, but does get the demo. We'll have a little bit of time just to catch a breath or two.
Exotic now beats out Alpha 54. K-Corp continue winning these 50-50s. Vatira off the corner gets the shot on net. It won't worry Rodostin, but Alpha 54 will love a counter-attack. He gets fed into him. Exotic's in trouble. He misses the ball. Rodostin cleans up. And Vitality get the first one on the board.
A little bit of the Karmine Corp shakiness back up against Team Vitality. Exotic just crept forward a bit too much. And Rodostin was not going to miss that one. It's a deserved goal for him after the huge save he had earlier. And Vitality take a lead in the game that they had seemed a little bit slower at until Karmine just gave them that goal.
And he's such a smart touch from Alpha as well that it was too heavy to follow it up himself, which was perfect because he could just offload it there to Rodostin. And well, Exotic was playing for the solo play. He was playing for the one-touch follow-up from Alpha. But that didn't come through. Exotic just couldn't quite make it work. But Vatira can. He's getting the fakes in the midfield and he's getting the finish in the top corner.
There was a demo that came in right when Vatira started his jump and he just slowed down, turned it into a backflip, baited Zen out and prods it home. It's great play from Vatira. More good teamwork as well from Karmine Corp. And so far we've seen games where one team has been dominant, even if they haven't won it. You think of game one that Vitality won 3-0, but Karmine Corp had all the pressure. This one's a little bit more back and forth. This is a shootout, and I cannot wait to find out who comes out on top.
I love this as well because it just feels like Vatira has leveled up. We've seen this at LANs where it feels like he's 1v3 in teams, and obviously Itachi and Exotic getting to work as well, but Vatira seems so locked in right now, perhaps motivated by that 4-0 sweep against him in the upper bracket, and certainly coming alive so far in this series, except not quite right there. That might have been a caster curse. He misses the ball. Zen misses the ball as well, but finds Exotic in the meantime. Itachi, a poor clear. Could be dangerous here. Zen doesn't quite get the touch off the corner, and K-Corp trying to clear the ball out. Vatira with so much speed and almost a dunk through in the net as well. He is just feeling it right now. Not too worried about where the ball's going, but just trying to get anywhere as fast as possible.
So desperate for this ball as well. He is very much the man with something to prove. Always chasing it, always there, closest to the ball at all times. Charging forward in front of the ball, chased down by Zen, those two. If they have a proper, most goals win shootout, it'll be something entertaining to behold. Vatira's going to chase this one as well. 24 boost and attack to play with. Exotic in the center. He can flip reset his way to him. Actually, he doesn't, but he gets the perfect challenge. It's down the corner for Vitality. Karmine Corp keeping forwards, but Itachi's touch is a little bit weak, and Rodostin can clear for now.
Zen does get 50-50'd out again. The ball just laying around in midfield. Now there's a bit of space to work with, but Zenot just opts for the shot. Vatira ready for it. Exotic fakes out Rodostin, who still gets a touch on it somehow. Pass infield. Vatira is there. Vitality trying to attack, trying to get some 50-50s, but it might mean that K-Corp can counter unless Zen, well, he's pre-jumping down one end, now he's pre-jumping in defense as well. Vatira, though, he's got other ideas off the ceiling, can't get the touch off the ground. Alpha 54 now, counter-attack Vitality. Game one on repeat. Rodostin's awkward! He's trying to own goal. Please stop doing that. Oh my goodness, bailed out by Alpha.
He knew he had Zen. It was Zen behind him, and he thought, Zen's on the goal line. He'll be all right. He'll be able to deal with this. Thankfully for Rodostin, he was absolutely correct. Vatira, though, he goes high, gets it almost over the top of Alpha. But Karmine Corp still coming forward. Itachi is met by Rodostin on a mad one. Chain dashing all the way. Trying to up the pace, trying to drag Vitality onwards. Get them marching again, put them back in control. They haven't been in control of this game at all. Exotic wants to get the double tap, does get the double tap. Itachi's there. It's sent high. So much danger for Vitality, but finally they clear their lines.
It feels like there's so much aggression right now from K-Corp, but it's controlled aggression. It's smart. They're not just throwing themselves away. They're making the challenges when they need to. Rodostin again, 50-50'd out of touch. He doesn't get the touch, but it just forces a poor clear there from Rodostin. Here we go. 1 second left. Maybe down to Vatira. He's been enormous so far. Or is it going to be Itachi here? 0 seconds. He's off the ceiling. Show us the magic. Alpha gives us overtime here in a crucial game number 4.
A huge moment in this series and a huge moment in this split. Karmine Corp, if they can get one more goal, they're so close to forcing a bracket reset to toppling Team Vitality, and they do have their goal. It's Exotic, and it's the exact finish he was after.
He just slams it home, top corner. It felt like he wasn't going to be able to get the angle. Zen's there. Alpha is ready for the shot, but he's not ready for the top left slot. Bang, K-Corp 3-1. What a response. What a way to start this first best of 7 potentially.
And it's the back and forth game that Karmine Corp were desperate for. You know, they wanted one like this. They wanted to suck Team Vitality out of their own goal line. That's exactly what's happened there. And Team Vitality as well, CJ, they've used their timeout. There's nothing left. They have to roll this one straight forwards onto the next map. Karmine Corp have them exactly where they want them. And isn't this brilliant for European Rocket League and Rocket League in general to see a team stand up to Team Vitality?
It's just such a mental game, Rocket League, Cole, and you've just seen the swing here. K-Corp in the first series, in the upper final, you know, Vatira said it himself. They were inside their own heads a little bit. They didn't know what they were doing. They weren't focused. They weren't playing the K-Corp way when they came up against Vitality. And then all of a sudden, K-Corp get one win on the board. They win that game too. And now Vitality are almost not playing their way. Zen's being a little bit quiet. Obviously, Redoson's still stepping up in defense and offense. But really, it's been Vatira to swing things around, try and show why he perhaps is still #1 in the world. It's not this new kid on the block. But can Vitality respond here? They're facing match point, or series point, should I say. Bracket reset on the line if K-Corp can land this one. I don't know if Vitality wants another best of 7.
A bracket reset is on the line, and across all the regions in the RLCS, there has not been a single bracket reset this season. Karmine Corp trying to change recent history in so many ways, and maybe Deadeye Canyon is the stage upon which they do so. As Vatira launches this ball towards Exotic, you can already tell what Karmine Corp are planning. Redosin could tell as well, and he gets the clearance, but again, it's Karmine Corp that start the better and have more of the ball.
Feels like Vitality are opting for the counter-attack strategy again, but I'm not sure it's going to work against this locked-in K-Corp or this Itachi sitting downfield going for the cherry picks. Zen, again, going for the counter-attack meta. I don't mind it. It did work in Game 1, but it hasn't worked since. Alpha 54 passes it across, but, well, he's got no one there, no support. Shot on net is very, very wide there from K-Corp. Redosin walks it out, and now maybe a one-on-one here. Exotic steps up this time. He didn't in the first series, but he's doing it now.
I thought he'd been faked out horrifically for a second there, Exotic, but he just about managed to get a little wedge of his car on that ball. Alpha keeps it coming. This is better from Team Vitality. Redosin, he has the ball again. He's got the bracket reset off the wall. It's just wide. Karmine Corp would claim they were confident that one wasn't going on target. I'm not so sure there weren't any sped up heart rates on the goal line there. This is so much better from Vitality though, so much more control. This is the real them that we're seeing again.
Yeah, this is Game 1 Vitality, but I'm not sure if it's Game 1 K-Corp. That might be the problem down the other end. The blue wall is growing, it's getting larger, and it's pushing into the offense here. Alpha 54 tries to pass it central. Redosin's under it. Ball just kicks out a little bit too high there as Exotic pre-jumping again in midfield. K-Corp giving no room to work with. Itachi's there. Vatira last. Has to wait for Zen. Of course, he's got 3 on it. When does he not have an extra touch? Alpha 54 goes for the skim. Let's get it up high. Exotic dealing with it for the meantime. K-Corp looking comfortable right now in defense.
Yeah, they're reading all these Team Vitality solo plays, almost dunking it in. It works out in the end. Exotic scores.
How has Exotic got this back on target, and how has Vatira nearly put this ball in? I've got so many questions, but Exotic has all the answers. He's almost bumped Redosin, which has just leveled his car out to get the angle to find the shot on net. And K-Corp again getting the first goal on the board this game. I don't know if Vitality can play counter-attack anymore, Cole. They need to step forward. They need to create some offense.
Yeah, they don't appear to have the read on Karmine Corp anymore. It's the complete opposite. Vitality's solo plays, free jump. Vitality's passes met in the center. Vitality's 50-50s going against them. And Vatira, his dribbles, his floor game has been flawless. Into the middle it goes though. There's Alpha. He picks out Redosin. Again, it's met by Exotic. Nothing Vitality are attempting is working. Karmine Corp beating them away at the door. It remains 1-0 KC.
They just cannot find a way through here, Vitality. It seems crazy to think that this offense that we've seen for the past, well, all of this regional and the first one as well, has been flawless, has been unstoppable. Maybe it is stoppable here. Exotic goes the low 50-50. Almost, well, should be grabbing the corner boost. Does so. Pass across Vatira. Alpha 54 blocks it out. Almost puts it into his own net here. And Vitality, they need to find a goal. They've got to concede another one if they're not too careful. Vatira does get the clear down. Redoshin, left last man. The top here has just been exceptional. The midfield dominance. Every single time, they just always have someone there.
Ooh, and the three of them combined to make that save. Alpha, can he beat Itachi? He can, but he puts it wide. Redoshin, surely it's on target. Finally, Zen tips it in, and Vitality do equalise.
There it is. That's what they needed there. Zen just gets the shot in the net, buries it in the top left corner, finds a way through. Vitality do get that equaliser, that all-important one right here, right now.
And we have parity between these two teams. Itachi, he's up. Sends that one to the side, and Vatira is chasing it down. Can Vitality make the most of their momentum? It's completely shifted for KC in recent times, and even Zen's missing double taps. That shows how precarious their position is as the undefeated team in EU since bringing in Zen. Now Vatira, he wants to get the charge down on Alpha. Itachi's coming in. Redoshin gets there as well. Alpha to the side. 1 minute remaining. This one is so delicately poised.
And 55 here, counter-attack. Exotic goes for the quick double touch. Alpha 54 does get the read in the midfield. Itachi has to backtrack here. K-Corp don't want to let this one slip right now. They could lock it out 4-1, force the bracket reset. Vitality. Right now they've got other ideas. Exotic gets the touch downfield. Itachi's chasing it, so's Vatira. With 32 seconds left on the clock, Alpha 54 forcing it forward now. Vitality, do they get the last attack on the board? Redoshin, 50-50'd out by Exotic. K-Corp again winning these challenges in the midfield. Vatira trying to go to work, trying to cook. He's got a flip reset. He fakes it underneath, but Zen meets him in a titanic battle.
Both teams, though, playing this well, playing this bravely. Zen backflips it as far as Itachi. Saved by Alpha, but Itachi hasn't gone away yet. He'll have a chance to get back into the attack. Got 100 boost. Vatira just smashes it to the backboard. Here he is, the Moroccan. Closed down by Zen. Surely this is going to be overtime. No, Exotic. He keeps it up. Redoshin also keeps it up. Everyone's desperate for that 0-second moment. All these players believe that they have it in them. They can be him, but none of them are. And it is next goal wins.
Everything on the line for both teams right now. K-Corp, they don't want to let Vitality back in. They don't want to give them that one game because this could all of a sudden be a game 7 before you know it. And well, Vitality, they want to lock this one out, not force that bracket reset here. The touchdown field for Tira. Could he get the double touch? The drop down. It's wide. It's almost in, but it's not a touch. He's there as well, trying to force it infield. The 50-50s come through from Vitality. The defense holds on, but that was almost for Tira's moment.
If you had 1 trillion channel points, you'd have put them on Vatira scoring that one. And you may well have lost, but here they come again. Karmine Corp. Then he's just camped in the goal line. Vatira does not miss twice. We're going to have the first bracket set in any region of the season.
Ladies and gents, run it back because we're going all over again. It's Vatira. Guess who? Who else for K-Corp? Putting it away in the overtime. 4-1 K-Corp. What a response. What a statement from the previous major champions. And now Vitality have 15 minutes to work out what went wrong.
That whiteboard is going to be wheeled out. There'll be a blackboard as well. There'll be some cones. There'll be all sorts of thoughts going through the Team Vitality camp because Karmine Corp did what Vitality did to KC earlier, CJ, and got 4 games against them in a row. Unprecedented stuff.
Man, oh man, what a response. After game 1, it felt like the upper final again. It felt like Vitality were going to walk away with this series. It was 3-0. K-Corp couldn't get a goal on the board. But since that game, since just finding that response, they didn't need the timeout, K-Corp, but they found a way and they responded big time. Vitality were shoved against the wall in game 2, pushed back, they were pushed through the wall in game 3, Cole, and ever since then, it has been one-way traffic for the blue wall. What a series and what a statement piece from them.
Brilliance from Karmine Corp. And thanks to them, there's going to be even more Rocket League to come. The bracket reset is going to be coming up right after this break. And please do not go anywhere.
their own good, and it's leading to opportunities like this. Ahmad off the ceiling. Ahmad with the 7 from heaven. I get higher, I never tire. I'm a beast, I'm a mentality. Can they get control of this? Pop back from a towel as he takes control. What? Are you kidding me? This is really happening. It's really happening. It actually happened. Fortune favors Liquid.
See this one flipped out. First killer. Does he have a flip? He's trying to use it to pass down. It's unbelievable.
Revenge number 1 comes for Karmine Corp as they take down Team Vitality, giving us our first ever bracket reset here in the European Spring Cup. Championship Sunday, but they have to do it again. I'm Leif Jorby. Shogun, you got it right, but it doesn't count.
I haven't got a point for it yet, but I'm a believer at this point, and imagine saying that after what we got in the upper bracket, Jorby. I'm a believer. Oh, you're a believer. You're a believer. Come on, man. Jorby believes.
Well, Shogun's not putting words in my mouth.
Jorby believes. He told me.
I believe in
he didn't want to tell you
Vatira.
guys.
That's who I believed in that series. He came online after that first game. Vitality won 3-0, and I mean, all of us in the green room were like, well, all right, chalk it up. This regional's done. Move on to the next one. And then after that, not just Vatira, but Exotic. Exotic looked excellent in that game. And Vitality, they just couldn't get anything going on offense. They tried a bunch of different plays, but there was one off the post. They finally got it in. There was a lot of struggles like that for Vitality later on in the series. K-Corp never gave it up. And Vatira popped off. He was angry after the first series. He was desk slamming. Someone should trademark that at this point. But they get the bracket reset. Vatira looked amazing, and this is anyone's final now.
Honestly, it really is. And just in case people aren't aware of what's going on here, K-Corp did get a win, sure, but they had to come from that lower bracket. And since Vitality hadn't lost to this point, it's only fair that K-Corp has to take Vitality down once, and now they're on even playing ground. So now it's just one more best of 7, and that's the winner. That's the champion here in the European Spring Cup. And K-Corp will have the momentum, of course, off their win 4-1. But you look at that scoreline just before that, Shogun in the upper finals there, and it doesn't look the same at all. It was dominating for Vitality.
Yeah, it really was Vitality's tournament to lose coming into this grand finals, but they're up against the ropes now. I mean, we have seen from Zen in those 1v1s that he was playing where he was on such a long undefeated streak, finally took a loss, and then quite a few losses followed after that. If that one sounds familiar too, it's because that is the storyline I'm kind of hoping for to get my predictions back on track.
Yeah, Johnny was talking about it in the green room that Zen, when he was going on his insane 1v1 run before the spring split, that when he did finally lose, the losses started coming a little more quickly. But for what that's worth, Zen did bounce back after that and started clutching up in those games later on. So I think the regain on the mental should be expected for Vitality, especially with the team environment that they have. I don't expect K-Corp to just run away with it from this point. I just think they had the momentum and they took advantage of Vitality, who hadn't lost anything up until this point. And then they go down 2-1 in the series. Now it feels real. Now losing
I'm
feels
looking
real.
at this room. There's something missing. But it's gone. Where has the whiteboard gone?
Where's the whiteboard? Oh, no strats.
They've
This
got
is
no
the
strats.
strat
They're out of
final right
ideas.
here.
They have nothing left to beat KC. Farah, with such a big Rocket League brain, has no idea what to do against an angry Vatira.
It took too much processing to decode his hand signals earlier, and there was too much information. So it's like, you know what?
No, they're going back to they're just going. They're
Brainless.
saying, you know what? Zen knows what to do. Just play rock. Don't overthink it. Let's just play our game.
I love the idea that you're going into this without a plan. You know what? I'm good with that.
And
you like that for your
I feel like
potential.
KC
I don't
would be
know.
pretty good
Vitality
with
winging
that.
it might not be good for you, Shogun. That might not be good for you.
wait, this is it.
Come on, it can't get worse.
Fair is actually going to sub in for Radosin.
He's
what's happening.
right. All right, so that's my.
Oh yeah, he's changing his
password.
settings right now.
He's like,
Sorry, give me a
this
minute.
is
I
the
need to get
wheels
on
you
top.
need. Here's the decal.
Yep. He's like, all right, where's my email? I need to get the two-factor sorted out.
Oh yeah, changing Radosin's preset. He's like, but those wheels are too heavy, man.
Yeah.
You'll get
Okay,
changed those
so
wheels.
this one is the Airbus preset.
I've been here before.
Look, we got multiple. How many Vitality staff does it take to fix Radosin's computer?
Well, one right now.
Well, then there's two. There's two surrounding him. He's there to give.
There's only one really doing something
Look at
here.
Zed
and
just
that's
by
Farah.
himself.
Well-
He's just in the zone. He's like, okay. He's just ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you talked about mentality though, Jorby, and I don't know. I mean, This is well, let's say overanalyze. That was the body posture of someone that's shutting down. That's someone that's just took their first loss and doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's just Zen's. That's his Zen position.
Is it?
Like before he's kind of like sitting a little lazily in his chair. He's not really paying attention. Now he's just waiting because Radosin's having issues. He's like, is Radosin done fixing his PC
Like,
yet?
bro,
Can
come
we
on.
get into the next game? I think he just wants to go.
Well, on the other side, I mean, this is good for Karmine Corp because again, they're coming in with momentum now. They come off a 4-0 against Team BDS, and then you get a 4-1. I mean, we've seen a fired up Vatira before, and this is a Vatira seen red Shogun.
Yeah, it very much is. He is unhappy with what has happened previously. He is ready to go. It looks like we might have a... that is either problem solved or problem given up on. I don't know which one I like from that one. Hey, all right. It looks like they are locking in. So I do appreciate these camps because this means that we do not get the start the game calls anymore. Like you know, all right. This is what we're sorting out right
We want
here.
the games to start too. We like watching them, but yeah, there's.
It's getting really late for CJ. Okay, the fact that this was a bracket reset is already kind
They
of
need to get some
catching him.
wire zippers in that Vitality room, though. There's just wires like strewn about everywhere. It's like the Wild West in there. Keep your boys clean. Come on now.
Wow, this is for Vitality. I guess what's the switch up? Really, I mean, I wonder what. Like, it can't possibly, Jorby, just be. Well, I don't have a plan. Go in. Like, there has to be some sort of switch up or plan to deal with what K Corp just threw at them.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say. I don't think there's anything Vitality need to do differently in terms of like play style or the way they should approach the game, because I think it just came down to the challenges and how both teams were challenging the ball. I think that the margin is that thin here. And as soon as Vatira figured out where exactly he's supposed to be challenging and how exactly he's supposed to be challenging Vitality, they kind of took a step back a little bit. They weren't as aggressive or confident in their approach. So maybe I'll slightly take back what I said. Like a more confident approach is really just a byproduct of you winning your previous touches. So constantly focusing on that next challenge and not so much getting concerned about the pressure you're under or the multiple steps ahead that you have to think about. It's just winning that first challenge and that follow-up, ever so important. Whoever wins that, gonna win the series.
Well, I'm very curious to see in a few moments.
Yeah.
So you guys have been spamming for a while now to see what the tally is, because it was very much in favor.
Me and the
other
blue wall
way.
are back, baby. Me and the blue wall are
Yeah,
back.
this very well could swing back towards KC. Now the question for the analysts, is there any flips going on here? I have to say I'm not moving, because if K Corp wins this, I want Shogun to have this glory alone. Personally. What about you, Jorby? Are you joining him, or are we giving this to Shogun? Unless he's flipping.
That would be quite the move.
Look, Vatira just reminded me that he's the protagonist. So put me on the blue wall. I'll lay another brick down.
taking it away from
I'm
you, Shogun.
changing to blue, baby. Give me
He's none of
Vatira.
this.
Give me Exotic.
The plastic
Give me
oat has
Itachi.
joined us over on the blue wall. Can't believe it. This is going to be full KC for the picks, surely. Oh, there we go.
Whoa, okay, all right.
51 glorious percent. Leaf, I'm happy. The world believes.
All right, and I'm happy too, because the game is ready. Let's get into our grand finals again as Vitality suffers their first loss into regionals, and it comes from none other than K Corp, the previous top dogs of EU. Can K Corp regain the title, or was one series all they could muster?
Vitality have stumbled for the first time this split and just maybe awoken the beast of the blue wall in the process. It was K-Corp who handled business in the first series, and now they meet their rivals on a level playing field. For the final time here on Championship Sunday, we've got 7 games to decide who truly rules Europe.
And which team is better to get the first bracket reset anywhere this entire season than Karmine Corp? The team that we were talking about as saying, oh, they're going to get a Grand Slam, they're going to win everything, they're going to do it all. Until along comes Team Vitality and Zen. Alpha has been just reinvigorated since Zen has come on the pitch. Radosin is looking better than ever. Team Vitality petrifying, but Karmine Corp CJ gives them their first series loss since Zen has joined the team.
I love this. I love the storyline playing out right here, right now. And let's see what Vitality's made of. They're certainly made of an offense early on here. Itachi will be able to handle it out of defense for K-Corp, but as you said, it was just Vitality who didn't really have any answers after game number 1. Radosin, though's got to open up here in series number 2.
Vitality maybe a little bit passive in the first series, not going to make that mistake this time. Radosin went up. Alpha offered a pre-jump, offered something for Radosin to go for. Radosin just says, nah, do you know what? I've got this double tap myself. 1-0 Vitality.
Sometimes I feel like him and Zen are swapping nameplates. He has just been electrifying here in this entire regional, really, for Vitality. Just on another level right now, and certainly showing it up where it counts here in the Series 2, the final series of the day. As we said, it was 1-1 now, the total, I guess, ledger here for these two lineups. It was Vitality 4-0 in the upper final. It was K-Corp 4-1 in the first series of this grand final. And now it's all tied up, Cole. There's no advantage, there's no disadvantage either way. It's just who's the best team.
Who is the best team? We're going to find that out over the next, hopefully, 7 games. Champions Field is beckoning. I'm desperate to see us make our way over there. I know, CJ, you're pretty early on in the day there, but it'll keep you awake, I hope, seeing these two go to Game 7. As Vatira puts that one to the side, Zen is already there. Tries to get it over the top of Itachi. And what I would say is that there's no loss of pace for either of these teams. If anything, Vitality looking faster, but Karmine Corp just as dangerous, just as death-defying, but not able to get the ball on target until maybe Itachi can get it down to Vatira. He fakes it instead, and we have, as we want, series parity.
Vatira couldn't get the first touch, but they made sure of the second one. Radosin just left on an island by himself there as the demo's coming through. Vitality just falling apart in defense. And K-Corp grabbing that equalizer.
Karmine Corp still looking like they could just be the twist in the tail that EU potentially needed, but Vitality, they've got the passing plays too.
Instant response off the kickoff, and it's Radosin just feeding the ball across to Zen. He grabs the mid boost. There was even Itachi who just handed it to him. I thought it might have been Radosin for the pass. He'll get the assist for that play, but it was actually the man down the other end, Itachi, who just handed that ball to Zen.
Maybe an example of Karmine Corp trying to be a bit too fast against Team Vitality. And Karmine Corp just making the most of putting them in that trap. They could have another. There's 2 players challenging Zen's finish. Exotic shows great composure. See that ball away. Anti up Vatira. Now Karmine Corp can counter themselves. Alpha puts it to the side. And Zen can only feed it towards Itachi, who has Exotic beneath him. It could be an easy early equalizer for Karmine Corp. If Exotic could get around this ball, it's not going to happen this time. Vitality show their defensive chops. Remember, this is a team that aren't just all-out attack team Vitality. Karmine Corp got on top of them in the last series, but they can defend for days.
Yeah, they were all-out counter-attack, certainly, for that last series. I'm not sure how much that started to work as the series wore on and K-Corp grew more and more confident, but it's interesting to see what Farah's got in store. The flip resets are in store here for K-Corp. Alpha 54 handles business so far. Itachi and the demo's coming through again. Zan just off the pitch. How do you deal with the future prodigy? Just get rid of him, Cole.
Well, he'll just respawn right back after again is the problem. If you kill one Zen, 3 more appear in his place. It's the French way. Because he does put that one to the side. Exotic, another Frenchman's already there. I can tell for another Frenchman, just filled with French players, this lobby, is the point I'm trying to make. I don't know how they managed to create so many fantastic Rocket League players.
It's ridiculous. I wish Australia could step up in that respect as well, but unfortunately, you've just got to deal with me. Itachi now controls the ball. Zen, shadow defense in the corner. Does well, but it just punches out. No, Vatira open net, gone, missed. And now the counter-attack from Zen down the other end almost leads to a goal. Vatira, that's every day of the week sort of stuff for him, and he couldn't find the angle.
It's different when you're up against Vitality. It's different when your #1 seeded team from pretty much every regional you'd expect is no longer the #1 seed. That extra pressure, they want to be EU's #1 going into the major. They have to make that happen now, Karmine Corp. Chances and misses like that, they matter so much. Exotic will almost get another go for Karmine Corp. Tira's coming in. Itachi's ball slide rotating to just make sure he's getting as far away from that ball as he possibly can do, but Alpha steams in and clears it long.
Yeah, huge clear there, and man, it'll just come to find out in a minute's time whether that shot is going to cost K-Corp here in game #1. There's still a lot of time left, 40 seconds here, and K-Corp are in offense and grabbing the boost. Vatira flip reset off the corner, doesn't get the touch. Alpha 54 has to back all the way across for that corner boost as well. The boost control the game. Itachi's waiting in the corner, but Exotic going to slow play. This could work out here. The little go ahead, the little flick over the top. top. He's got to find the top corner. K-Corp do get the equaliser.
Itachi had to wait there for about 3 hours. The boost had spawned a long time ago. Finally, he was able to just fling it at Exotic. The ball pretty much hit his Fennec and just bounced agonizingly as far as Team Vitality are concerned into that top corner. I love this first game in a series, CJ. Everything we want. Two heavyweights smashing it out.
There's so much confidence as well. Itachi is just sitting on the opponent's backboard, waiting down, and Vatira back to Exotic. This cherry-pick censure right here for K-Corp, but I absolutely love it. They're throwing caution to the wind. They're playing with so much confidence here. 7 seconds left. Are we going to see a late goal in regulation, or will we get our first overtime? Game number 1. Exotic takes it to the sky. Radosin's on the backboard, does deal with business. Do Vitality want to get the ball down? You betcha. We've got overtime.
Here we go. Who's going to take first blood in this bracket reset? Karmine Corp have already won themselves a series. Can they get a game 1? Not with Zen coming forward, but Exotic completely flips that on its head. With a massive challenge, it's missed by Alpha. Alpha actually gets it in the end via Radosin's challenge. And now finally Alpha can get rid of this ball. So it's the better start for Karmine Corp. Vitality a little shaky, but they get away with it for now.
Just waiting to see Zen get to work here. He just hasn't had too much time to create any plays, but Itachi's got time here with a flip reset in the corner. Zen does get the save out. He can't do it offensively right now, but he's certainly getting to work defensively. Vatira, again, K-Corp pushing downfield, trying to find the opening, trying to find the bumps. Alpha 54 clearing out any K-Corp offense, but it's Vitality still stuck in their corner. No boost to work with from Itachi, and Vatira has to back right off.
There's been a couple of double commits defensively for Karmine Corp that haven't caused too much harm, but Vitality, I'm sure, will be keeping an eye on those, realizing that they're stretching this Karmine Corp defense, making them panic at times. With clearances like that, the panic isn't too prominent. Exotic out wide to the side. Itachi's going to hope that he can get it after the bounce. Not quite with Alpha there. And Exotic just makes sure that Zen doesn't have any ideas about going up for that ball. What Karmine Corp are doing really well is being slightly aggressive, slightly heavy-handed with Vitality, not letting them have the ball clean, because when they do have it clean, they do plays like this. Radosin all the way to the backboard. Alpha gets the flip reset, another couple of touches for good measure, and Karmine Corp bundle that ball away.
Vitality were all over their net, but the plays were too slow. They just couldn't find the angle above the bar, off the crossbar again. Still tied up, game still running here. Radosin dribbles it downfield. Vitality trying to set up another attack. Zan off the corner, doesn't quite get the touch. But Exotic's got no boost. Itachi wants to take it off him. He's got boost to work with. He's got a solo play. He's looking for the air dribble, the bumps, the central play, but Alpha does get the clear. It's not out of trouble. Vatira's got boost. He's got the bump. Exotic's got a 50-50, but Alpha 54 again just sitting in front of net and clearing it away.
Itachi has to be the disciplined one in Karmine Corp with Vatira and Exotic playing this aggressively. I say he was so far back as that third man. Now it's Vitality's turn. Exotic booms it as far as he can. Then gets one touch to himself and a second one towards Radosin. And Itachi's already up again. So aerial this game. Everything is just being sent straight into the air. Just like that touch from Zen. It slams down, but again, there's no one from Vitality. So stretched. Booster's such a premium. Itachi fakes his way past one, not the second. And Vatira can only get the 50-50 into the center. Now it's Alpha's turn.
Enormous defense from Alpha 54, and he's straight on the counter-attack as well. No boost to work with. Zen's got boost. He's got a reset as well. Vatira's there in net. Again, this 1v1, they always find each other. Zen off the ceiling. Vitality, that's a poor touch from Exotic, but he's bumped into the follow-up. Radosin's in net, trying to force it forward. Alpha's pushing it. Where's Zen? Where's the killing blow coming through? Double touch, wide follow-up. It goes wide again. It's Vatira. Who else?
How have Vitality not sunk KC there? Instead, the overtime lingers on as far as Vitality are concerned. They thought they were done and dusted. Not to be. No Forbidden Temple just yet. Exotic has Vatira to his right. Fakes out Zen. Vatira, what do? You go for the demo to help Exotic out. But unfortunately, there was just too much space between the ball and Exotic's car. And it's not going to happen for Karmine Corp.
Alpha's a little bit awkward here, but he does get the 50-50 to work with. And he's got boost as well. I think this is almost surprised K-Corp. Radosin 50, Itachi under the ball, pushes it forward, but it's straight in the hands of Zen, who has to play it around, but now he's awkward. He forces a quick double jump to get a touch to the side. Exotic trying to keep the pressure on, but Alpha just bullies him out of the way, and Vitality are trying to find an attack of their own here, pushing forward. Exotic, he's ready for the ball. Radosin waiting for a touchy, who's got the cut here. Zen in trouble, faked underneath, just gets the touch he needs, and maybe a 1, 2, 3. Alpha 54, and touchy gets the save.
We are currently 4 minutes into overtime, and it's 17 shots to 16 shots. Both these teams on full aggression. No one giving an inch defensively, but Itachi has moved up just too far. Fortunately for him, the ball's all the way down the wing. Should be able to get back. He's the player, as I mentioned earlier, that Karmine Corp rely on to be that defensive third, to be disciplined and just stay back when it's needed. Does it get away with one? The Vitality have boost, and they can march forwards yet again.
Oh, both teams are just starting to get a little bit loose with their structure here. It's end-to-end. It feels like a goal's imminent. It is an exotic double touch. No, Zen is right there. He's there on the backboard, ready to clear the ball. Alpha 54 finds K-Corp's backboard, but Vatira's in waiting here. Radosin in the midfield just has to get in. It's so many 50-50s. The pass across. Alpha, the ball came through in the first series. It doesn't come through there. Exotic steps up big time.
The bravery, though, of the Karmine Corp man that was back to go for that ball quickly. Zen, he's in the air. He gets it towards Alpha. Alpha takes a touch. Wants players to his right. They're not really there, but Radosin calls him off the ball brilliantly. Now he is the player to the right, is Alpha, and he can get the flip reset. Zen's waiting. He wants to pounce, but Itachi sends it to the side. Radosin there forces it over the top, and Vatira can come forward. Knock out Zen. This ball's almost going in, but it's saved by Alpha.
Yeah, guess who? Alpha just always finds himself in front of net to help out his teammates, but Vatira almost got the touch. The demo coming through. Alpha 54 is removed from the pitch. It's got other ideas. It's an open double touch on Radosin. It's Vitality getting the first on the board.
And there's the emotion from Team Vitality. We question them. How can they handle it when things are against them? There's your answer right there. Zen with the double tap. Radosin following through. And then Zen and his teammates having that reaction, having that emotion, having that fist bump. Team Vitality take game one.
Almost a 6-minute overtime to open up the first, or should I say the second series here, the bracket reset. And it is Vitality doing what they did in the first series, getting game one. That didn't quite work out for them, but I tell you what, that feels like such an important overtime to win, just for the mindset, for the mentality. That was almost, well, it was 2 games of Rocket League in one there. And boy, oh boy, Cole, this is peak Rocket League right here, right now.
This is. Yeah, there's not too much more you can ask for than that. A 5 or so minute overtime with 20 odd shots each. That's pretty much the dream for anyone who likes watching this esport. And Team Vitality and Karmine Corp are elevating it to levels that EU regionals haven't seen before. I just still am overwhelmed with joy, CJ, that Karmine Corp are playing like this. I was worried they were going to be scared again and play scared. There's been nothing like that in these last couple of series.
It's been phenomenal so far. And just to see, I guess, that overtime as time went on, you could just see almost the mental tiredness coming in, the fatigue as the structure started to get a little bit loose from either side. There were chances, there was rotations that they're a little bit slower. Everything was getting a little bit more sloppy, and it's just who can really lock in for that moment and find their opportunity. And it was Zen to find that angle. Radosin did clean it up. But it was a great finish there, and Alpha with no boost has beaten 8 people to the ball. I'm not sure how he's done that here in game number 2. But what did K-Corp do? Can they respond?
Oh, Zen, he almost gets that ceiling play.
No way.
Just as I was about to say that if there are any blue wall bricks that need some hopium, after losing that overtime, Karmine Corp lost the first game in the first series and then won the preceding 4. Are we going to see that history repeat itself in the first bracket reset in the world in the RLCS this split? Karmine Corp are surely hoping so, but Vitality have started off game 2 brilliantly, thrillingly, so quickly. Alpha digs out a pass from nowhere from the opposition backboard. Zen can keep it going until Vatira clears.
Yeah, Zen just working the ball in the corner, but Exotic does deal with it. Radosin with a huge 50-50 just to push the ball forward and keep K-Corp in a little bit of trouble. They've got no boost to work with, but they are able to send it downfield here. Exotic tries to pass it to Vatira, but a double pre-jump, but almost a double kill him into midfield from Vitality. Just so ready for the pass plays from K-Corp. They do handle business. Vatira, last man now, does kick the ball to the side. Alpha's there. He's got boost as well. He's got a flip reset. Central, Zen, no blocked out Itachi again. K-Corp so many times over have stepped up when they needed to with huge plays in defense.
The difference between this series and the last one, though, is that Karmine Corp are having to defend from game 1 onwards. Vitality not giving them the decency of playing defensively this time. Attacking Karmine Corp every step of the way, sinking their teeth into their opponents. Hoping they can do even more damage then. He's flipping his way towards this ball yet again. Vitality keeping the ball in blue territory. Redosin almost beats Exotic. That was close. But finally, they can get it away. Exotic has it in the Vitality corner. Zen just ducks out and then sends it home.
Beautiful fake there from Zen, but K-Corp still pushing forward. They're not out of trouble right now. He's got 100 boost to work with here, Zen, and a beautiful first touch. Exotic somehow ready for it, and almost an open net. It is going to be a first goal on the board. Itachi just makes the most of nothing there.
Yeah, Zen, his touch was a little bit heavy. Exotic got him so quickly, and Alpha, despite his despairing dive, Redosin couldn't do anything with the shot. And Karmine Corp, CJ, now they're the counter-attackers. One shot, one goal.
Yeah, they've certainly changed it up. The styles here, I guess the versatility of both sides here on display. 2 series now, or 3 series they've played so far today. And we're seeing a different side of each team every single game here. Redosin gets the kick on the backboard, but Exotic's there to handle business. Itachi with bumps downfield. It's got to be open. Is there a follow-up? No, Alpha just has to trust that the shot's going to go wide, which it does. Now they get to counter-attack. 1-0 here, K-Corp. Half the game gone. Doesn't really feel like they've been dominant, but they do have the goal to answer for it. Vatira tries to get the fake to work with, but Zen does get the pass back. Exotic peppers the backboard. Vitality happy to let it go through. And for good reason, they get the clear.
Yeah, but now Karmine Corp has started sprinting. They're attacking the defense so much more, but actually, finally, Vitality made their way through.
Zen with the pre-flip, just out of nowhere. He couldn't get the touch off the first. Oh my goodness. He's just found so much power, found the perfect position on his car. The pre-flip is ridiculous. He wasn't going to be able to reach it any other way off that pass, and he still was able to put it behind over the top of the K-Corp defender. Zen coming alive here. That's scary for K-Corp.
Pretty much a perfect finish there from Zen. Karmine Corp, for all their good work, find themselves equal, and now look how much space there is for Team Vitality. They've gone in behind the Karmine Corp defense. Vatira sends them away for now, actually stays behind it too, and gets some dribbling time. Brilliant from Vatira. Exotic, though, tries to continue his good work until Zen dribbles it away into the center. Vitality with even more time and space to play with. There's just a snapshot there from Alpha from the ceiling. Karmine Corp having to do some tough defending. Vitality not too shaken after Karmine Corp took the lead. Well on top now in game 2.
Exotic does get a huge beat out. Zen is very awkward, but just finds the best touch possible.
No way!
This is the best counterattack in Rocket League history. Redosin follow-up shot. Vatira can't get the touch. K-Corp save it. It was 2 skimmy dim sims in a row. I don't believe it, and Redosin still wants more.
That was the most gentle counter-attack you've ever seen, like ushering a duckling back into a pond, and suddenly the ball is in the Karmine Corp goal almost. Another one from Zen. It's over the top of Vatira, is it not quite? All the fancy touches that you could ask for from Vitality. Karmine Corp defending as much as they can. Vatira, he's up. Can they turn it into more attack? His touch is also gentle. Well done, Vatira. It's towards Exotic. But he can only find Zen. 40 seconds left and it's 1-1.
Just getting so much value. Every player on the pitch right now is locked in. They're getting value, and so is Zen right now. Alpha centers the ball. Exotic's ready for it, however. Now Zen's in trouble. He's last man. Vatira's under the ball, but the flip break comes through. Saved by Alpha. Somehow off his own post.
I don't know how many pixels remained outside the Vitality goal right there, but it was enough for that little round thing in the center not to explode. 10 seconds left, it might go bad now. Zen shoots, but it's saved by Exotic this time. The nibble pinches towards the Vitality goal. Can Alpha reach it? Yes, he can. And get the second touch on his backboard. Entertainment and anxiety all the way up to the 0-second mark in game 2. But we are gonna have the second overtime in a row, CJ.
I don't know what's happening right now on this pitch, but I absolutely love it here. We have overtime again. Are we going to get 6 minutes of it? Another game of Rocket League. Can we get 14 games in 7 here? And can K-Corp get their first game on the board? Drop down, you betcha! It's not going to be 7 minutes. It's 13 seconds. And Itachi levels it up.
The 4th straight overtime in a row between Karmine Corp and Team Vitality ends almost instantly. And it's the equalizer for Karmine Corp, refusing to fall behind in this series. The OGEU #1, they find parity.
you just know, like this, chat. We all know that this is going 7, don't we? Do we want to do we skip to champ field, or do we just witness the incredible Rocket League gameplay on display right now? I've never seen anything like it, but I'm loving it right now. As you said, 4 straight overtimes. These two sides cannot be split. They're 1-1 in series so far this weekend as well. But we're going to have to get someone to decide it. I feel like we're going to get a Game 7 20-minute overtime at this rate. But it's awesome to see just the change-up and how both sides are trading blow for blow and just finding ways to new avenues to score, new opportunities. And I don't know what to say. I'm enjoying it. I hope everyone at home's enjoying this as well. This is a phenomenal grand final series.
Yeah, when you said, we can skip to Champions Field, I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. And then you said, but we might miss all the Rocket League. I thought, yeah, good point. There's still, 3 or 4 games in between now and then. And I'm greedy, CJ. I want to see them all. I want to see this. Every ounce of Rocket League I can squeeze out of Karmine Corp and Team Vitality playing like this. That's what we're going to do. Let's keep it going, baby. Let's play Game 3. Here's Zen. He's got an air dribble. Why not start things off like that?
Open net for Zen. Guess who? And he gets to work. Alpha passes the ball mid-air off to Zen. The double commit works out. And the kid says, mate, you are old. You are 19 years of age. You should be retiring. I'll take things from here. Zen goes bang. And Vitality 12 seconds in. It was a touchy 13 seconds into an overtime. And now it's Vitality 12 seconds into game number 3.
Zen there was like a Labrador catching a Frisbee in the air. Like, you know when they jump and they turn their heads and they just catch it cleanly? Except the Labrador is a world-class Rocket League player who also made the ball explode. But, it was really impressive is what I'm saying. And Vitality, they do have their lead. Can Karmine Corp come back again? They had to come back in the second game, I believe. But with all this Rocket League, my brain's starting to go a little bit fuzzy, so maybe I've made that up. Either way, it remains 1-0 Vitality.
I don't think 1 goal down is going to phase K-Corp one little bit here as Touchy grabs a 100 boost, leaves it for Exotic, which could open up a counter-attack because Vatira's downfield off this stealing second touch, saved by Alpha somehow, and it beats Itachi as well.
There's Zen playing in front of the ball. He was almost fed in by Alpha, but Radosin comes in the end, and Zen, does he have this read? You bet he does, almost. Exotic, perfect clearance to Itachi, tries to use the ceiling, tries to get the floor pinch, neither quite happens. But Karmine Corp still coming on strong. There's a miss from Alpha. Radosin and Alpha combine. Radosin and Zen, actually, it was in the end. Vatira gets it down to Itachi. It's not quite falling for Karmine Corp, but my goodness, are they trying, CJ?
Even when Vitality double commit, there's just someone there. It was Alpha that time with 0 boost who bailed out his teammates. Demo's coming through. Zan's on an island. It's Vatira this time. Gets the 50-50, but guess who? Alpha 54 pushes it to the side, grabs the 100 boost. Nice little spawn for him there. Radosin, awkward front post, but does get a clear in the meantime. And the 50-50, at least pushing Vatira out of the way. K-Corp trying to find the level up, trying to find the equalizer. It's Zen. Can he get to work here? The first touch just too high. Can't quite make it happen.
For a split second earlier on in the corner, the ball was almost still, and I practically got whiplash. Because this series, this gameplay is so speedy that when it does slow down, even for a split second, you can't quite believe your eyes. Look at it now. Look at the ball. It just carries on going. 100 million miles per hour. You can't even jump without being bumped.
Zen finds it on net, but Alpha 54 does the rest. He sweeps through. He knows the shot's coming on, and it's Exotic who just can't find any way to avoid that one. Vitality getting their second on the board in style.
They're going to keep on pushing, I bet. They want 3. They want to make a statement right now against Karmine Corp. Alpha's almost got the pinch. Vatira, though, could get the flip reset underneath Radosin. Now over Zen! Brilliance now from Vatira!
He just made something out of nothing again here. Off the kickoff, he finds it off the sidewall, fakes the flip reset, fakes the shot as well. Zen had to respect it. But Vatira didn't respect any defender there from Vitality. They do get one back, and there's a lot of time in this game left.
Exotic's done well from that kickoff as well. The ball's just a little bit too above him. Didn't have the angle to go at it, but it does give Karmine Corp some decent territory against Vitality. Until Zen gets the triple dunk against Karmine Corp. Sends them scampering back. Itachi can start again, but so much work from Zen for something so simple there.
I love it. It's all the little things you have to just watch the replays later. You have to analyze every single player on the pitch. Alpha 54 trying to fake every player on the pitch, but it means that Vatira has an open net. K-Corp taking a leaf out of Vitality's book, and it's counter-attack season, baby.
It was Radosin who pushed up too far, and Vatira just prods it over the top of him and chases the ball all the way home. Karmine Corp cannot be shaken off by Team Vitality at the moment.
You just feel like we're going to get a game that's at least somewhat one-sided, but every single time, whoever it is finds a way to level it up. Vatira, huge touch off the sidewall, follow-up as well. It goes underneath Radosin. There's going to be a shot. K-Corp have got the lead.
Completed the comeback now. It's Itachi. Somehow for himself, he finds the ball in acres of space. It was Vatira threading the needle between Radosin and Zen. Itachi ain't missing those. What a turnaround this is from Karmine Corp.
And Vatira bumping Zen on the line as well. He just stomped on him, so he couldn't get any time in the air. He couldn't get up to the ball, couldn't get anything on the shot. Vatira again going for the scam. It feels like everything right now is coming off from every player on the pitch, both sides. As Zen now gets another redirect. Guess what? It is on target, but Vatira's ready for the ball. Now for 54, gets the block out. Radosin's there. Zen has to push upfield. He's a little bit out of position, forces the challenge, but Vatira's quite ready. And all of a sudden, it was 2-0 Vitality. We're now 3-2 K-Corp. It feels like you just blink and you miss it.
Pythagoras himself would be stunned by the angles that these players are generating from these redirects. It's crazy. You think the ball isn't going to be, on for a shot on target, and somehow they get just the deftest little hit. This could be another one. Same with the redirect into the far corner. Exotic was waiting for it that time, and Vatira can keep on Exotic's good work. Here he is again. Itachi tries to flip it over Radosin. Radosin saves to the side.
Everything looks so scary from certain point of views, but every teammate, every player has each other's back right here. Alpha's got a flip reset, fakes underneath. Itachi, no boost, gets a huge 50-50. Zen hitting the ball around 1, but not around 2. Exotic gets the ball on the ground, no boost to work with. Vatira has to clean up, has to create an offense by himself here, but now Exotic is on an island by himself. Alpha fakes it out for Zen, but he's not quite ready and gets faked by Itachi.
This one's into the center. Radosin just waiting to see what Vatira's going to do. Radosin was hoping it would find its way to Alpha, and it did. Who's going to be the first to win this race? How rarely do you see that in this game? The ball going all the way up and then all the way down and actually having the audacity to bounce. Itachi makes it punished almost by making it explode, but it doesn't go in. And Vitality, 15 seconds left.
10 seconds. What can they do here? Zen gets a huge beat out. There's an open net. They've left it wide open. K-Corp. Can they punish? Yes, they can. A late equaliser. Some late heroics from Vitality.
Are we going to get a third overtime in a row? We're 6 seconds away. Radosin. Vatira maybe would have had it. Itachi, maybe would have had it. It doesn't matter. There's bumps all over the place. We might be about to see 2 kickoffs in a row. Can either one cause a goal?
3 OTs in a row this series and 5 overall, looking at the last one as well. Or are we going to get an overtime here? There's still time for either side to find an avenue, find a way.
Here we go.
Break the deadlock. Is it going to be Exotic? No, he says we'll have another one. We'll break the RLCS record. Let's keep these consecutive overtimes going.
This is, by my count, the 5th straight overtime between these two teams. Radosin can't kill it quickly this time. The last one ended in, 17 seconds? It was Itachi. This one's already about to beat that, unless Zen can beat it. Oh, it's missed by Vatira. Radosin's coming in. Here's Alpha. Itachi almost gets the save. We drew, CJ. 17 seconds.
Oh, Itachi had to put the reverse break on there, but Alpha 54 wedges it in. Vitality 2-0 up, 3-2 down, late equaliser, and win the overtime. I just don't know what's going on anymore. When you think something's expected, it's completely not. And Vitality, as we said, 5 overtimes, but they do break the deadlock. 2-1 up. They take the lead back in the series, and we do get the timeout from K-Corp.
I am relieved. Thank you, Eversax. Thank you, Karmine Corp, for taking a timeout. I need 10 seconds myself. Everyone together. CJ, will you take a deep breath with me?
Okay.
Because this is some seriously quick Rocket League we're seeing.
It is, as I said, it's nothing short of ridiculous. Seeing 6 players, world-class players, all locked in, it's phenomenal. The touches coming through are second to none. Everything feels like it's on target. There's always a chance out of nowhere. And as we saw with K-Corp, they were 2-0 down. All of a sudden, they're winning the game in the matter of 45 seconds there. But Vitality answered straight back. 8 shots to 11 there. So K-Corp getting more shots on the board, but it didn't mean much. 4 goals for Vitality.
whatever happens here as well, CJ, you have to praise Karmine Corp with the way they have dug out these results against Team Vitality. It seemed that with Zen, they'd pulled away. Karmine Corp were being not forgotten, but not discussed about in the same conversation. And they've stepped up so much, they've changed so much, they've completely refreshed their mentality. And what we're seeing now is the result of that hard work.
There's a reason why I retired, ladies and gentlemen. It's this series right here. There is no way that people can humanly keep up with this. They're robots. They're absolute robots. I'm not sure what's going on. Check PCs. The French is something special. The EU is something special right now. This region is phenomenal, and we are seeing the absolute pinnacle, the creme de la crop, if you would, of Rocket League right here, right now, Cole. How'd you like that one?
That's absolutely beautiful, CJ. You really got the accent dead on as well. And these French robots, they're not coded in C++ or Java. They're coded in pure French adrenaline. Just the energy they have to keep on going. I don't know how Ferrer's still standing. That's what's impressive to me. I'd be slumped in my chair by now if I was in that room. God can only imagine the heat that's in there with all this pressure going on. And somehow they're still smiling. I'm still smiling too. We have got at least a couple more games of this. Team Vitality 2-1 up in the series. And we're 1 overtime away from equaling an RLCS record. So that'll be fun too.
It's been overtimes galore. This series in the last one, and I want more. Give me some more here, ladies and gentlemen. K-Corp Vitality putting on an absolute show. So's Redostan. Fires one across early on. We're just going whack off the bat, straight off the overtime. Oh, I'm having so much fun right here. So's out for 54. Drop down pass. Redostan just fires it in an open net and puts a hole through the crossbar.
Keep the shot low, lads. I know the crossbar's probably stolen lots of goals of yours. You don't have to take it out against it. Alpha tries to do just that. And it's read by Itachi. And then Exotic with a clean couple of touches can send it back to Vitality territory. Now Vatira can G out Redostan. Exotic scores somehow.
Oh no! This might be the worst pass back in RLCS history, ladies and gentlemen. What placement there from Redostan, slotting it home in the bottom right corner, helping K-Corp out. Alpha 54 has to put your controller down and think, what on earth is going on? I've got paid actors on my team as K-Corp get the first on the board.
It's the equivalent of an air kick in football where a player passes the ball back to the goalkeeper and as they swing it hits the bobble, goes over him anyway. It doesn't matter because that one's more than a bobble. That's 1-1.
Champions always find a way to respond, and Redostan's done just that there, finding the equaliser. If I'm Vitality right now, I'm saying forget about the first minute. It's 0-0, reset, run it back. And I'm sure that they'll move on from that own goal. They found a way already, so I love this series. We're getting it all here. We're even getting the OCE own goals. It's brilliant.
I mean, yeah, if I'm Vitality, I'm saying forget it, but I'm a caster. Let's talk about it for 4 more minutes. Hey, remember when Redostan scored an own goal in a match like this?
Incredible, incredible.
Exotic has got Itachi to his left, Vatira to his right, tries to tee up Itachi, but Zen was already in the air, and Exotic can have another bite of the cherry. Here is Itachi. Here he comes, Vatira's teed up. Will Exotic be coming in? He will, but Redostan was going to get there first, so Exotic can just take a breather, send Karmine Corp back, and make sure everyone can recover for a second. This is going to be awkward, though. Who goes for the ball? Exotic was so confident in a nasty situation, and it worked out well.
Great read from Redostan as well in the midfield. Demo coming out. Vatira's off the pitch for now. Zen off the sidewall. He's got plays in the midfield, but Alpha 54 sitting off. Zen's doing it all himself. Wedges it in. Follow up Redostan again. Can this man find an angle here? He's found it in the orange net. But the blue one just seems a different beast for him right now. Alpha 54, is this open? The demo's coming through. Vatira has to force a challenge. Shot on net from Zen. And Vitality need the goal to be about 2 meters bigger.
We're now, 7 games into this series, if you include the first one, and it's the first scrappy game of Rocket League, the first sign that these players are starting to tire, that the mental fortitude they have is just beginning to be breached. There's always a dodgy game or two. This is it, but winning it almost feels even more important than winning it cleanly.
It's utter chaos, but it's just as entertaining right now. Off the corner, Exotic does get bumped. Itachi just drives under the ball. Vatira trying to race his teammate to the boost. He does miss it, grabs the corner. Alpha over to Zen, who goes for a quick fire double touch. It is offline, and Redoson's there for the 50-50. Vitality trying to keep the offense. Oh, Alpha 54's doing just that. The pass central, the follow-up shot pre-jumped by Itachi.
We have 6 players who will be desperate to grind out this game. That's all that can be done in a situation like this. Vatira catches Exotic's touch. He's coming forward again. Redoson and Zen, they combine. Attaches to the backboard. Redoson, though, sends it out wide. And Vatira turns down, keeping it alive.
Every player just 2 steps ahead of each other right now. The bump's coming through. Exotic couldn't quite get the touch, but Vatira helps him out. Outbeats into the ball. Redoson's awkward. Zen, again, everyone just bailing out their teammates right now on the pitch. Redoson with the follow-up. 0 boost. Hands it off to Vatira. Maybe not what he wanted there. Itachi's out of position. He's awkward off his own backboard, but does get the follow-up double. Even when they stuff up, they find a way to get themselves out of it.
Here's Vatira. Can he flick this one to the left? No, instead he air dribbles. Just Redoson in front. Tries to squeeze it past him, but Zen watched it all the way. And Alpha's touches into the center. Zen up against Vatira. Those two not leaving each other alone all game. No player on this pitch able to get more than a second of time on the ball. Maybe Zen can force his way to the ball. Yeah, Vatira, he'll catch it. He'll go to the ceiling. Alpha sends it out wide to Exotic. Exotic's just waiting for this boost. Booming it over the top of Redoson. You can almost see how exhausted these players are, but the passing's still brilliant. Exotic squeezes it in. Karmine Corp have the lead.
A huge missed play from Vitality. There it is. Redoson missing the ball and Zen getting 50'd. Leaves Alpha all by himself, and Exotic wedges it in off the post. A smart 1-2 play with Vatira. And K-Corp do get the lead here. 50 seconds left. But if the other games are something to go by, I dare say we're going to see an equaliser, or maybe one more for K-Corp.
Yeah, we've seen some late Vitality equalizers this series. Will it be time for another? That's a great touch from Redoson. Itachi, yeah, made it look open for Vitality, but it wasn't in the end. He just about shut that door at the last second. Vitality going to keep on coming, though. 30 seconds. They need boost first to get this charge going.
Yeah, they've done it before. They can do it again here. Itachi a little bit awkward. K-Corp, you feel like they need to be sitting a little bit more defensively. Redoson pops it up. Straight to Exotic here. 18 seconds on the clock. Vitality, you said it best, Cole. We've seen some heroics. We've seen it again. Vatira, huge whiff. Exotic is there to help him out, however. The 50-50's coming through. 7 seconds left. Alpha 54. Let's see what you made of. Is it going to be Zen? Vatira, again the hero, blocks it out. But not for long here. Alpha 54, one last attack. Itachi with the 50-50. They need to get the ball on the ground. Redoson, Exotic is the one to put it down. And K-Corp off the timeout. Take us to 2-2.
It was anything but easy yet again from Karmine Corp. And as I mentioned earlier, CJ, you win a series like that where it's ugly, where it's messy, where neither team is playing well. And it must feel different, right? That must be just a release of energy in a game like that.
It is absolutely enormous. And I don't know what these teams are feeling right now, Cole. I don't know what they're feeling, because when you're playing not only a bracket reset, I've played a series of 21 in the best of sets before, but it's not the quality of this, Cole. This is just another level. You have to be locked in every second, every millisecond of these games. They're doing double touches off their own wall, and it's causing these pressured situations, these mistakes in that game. Perhaps for the first time in any of these series where Redoson did, unfortunately, own goal. There are a few whiffs, there are a couple of mishaps, but this is what's going to happen. These players have to fatigue at some point.
Yeah, and it's happening. I mean, bear in mind, all the Rocket League matches going on around the world right now, competitive, ranked, unranked, whatever, this is the epitome. Nothing is as good as this in this moment, and we have the honor of watching it and bringing it to you all at home. And it's just delivering on every single front. 2-2 now in this series. Whoever wins this one wins the regional. Wins it all, takes it all. The pressure couldn't be higher. And that's an early chance of Vitality that goes begging.
Yeah, this series absolutely delivering, but which side will be delivering their org? The Spring Cup title here, Exotic. Well, he wants to be that person. Alpha 54 with a huge pre-jump, doesn't get the touch. Zen's there. Met by Itachi. Open opportunity, but Redoson does get back in time. Vatira, just feels like any time there's a ball in front of net, they're circling like a shark. The big 50-50, but Itachi's back there.
Charged down by Alpha. Vatira He goes long, he goes high, he goes to the ceiling as well. Can he get the reset on the ball or the ceiling? I don't think he got it on either, but it's worked out as a fake. Exotic puts it home. Improv from Casey.
He faked out absolutely everyone, including me. I wasn't sure when the flip was coming. It didn't come at all. As Exotic gets the follow-up shot, easy as you like, open net. Vitality have been absolutely bamboozled by Vatira.
Vatira's completely locked in as well. If you look at his face cam, he's in a dark room. It was light earlier, but as the sun's going down, so too were Vitality's hopes, but Alpha gets them back in charge.
Just can't afford kickoff goals here in the grand final of all places. Vatira with the 50-50 that he'll come to regret as Alpha just slots it away. That is just, that's a piece of cake for a player of his caliber there. Open net and Vitality out of nowhere. Just get a freebie, get a free goal.
I think Vatira tried to bump Alpha out the way as well, but Alpha jumped too quickly. Was too aware to fall for that, so he got himself that goal. Now Alpha's bumping Itachi out this time. Vitality upping the pace yet again. Both these players, both these teams, should I say, trying to wrestle that initiative after the dodgy game they had before. As Exotic comes in, up against Radosin, clears it long. Itachi gets the catch, does he? No, he just lets the ball go past him, takes the boost. And now, Casey have the advantage boost-wise, but Vatira can't quite get underneath the ball.
Yeah, he had to go for the chain dashes there. 10 boost to work with. Zen with a big beat out, the 50-50 as well. Has he got the shot on net? He does, but Exotic gets the 50 dunk. Zen out of nowhere again. Radosin now, can he channel some magic? He's been enormous all weekend long. Huge 50. Zen's under the ball. He's awkward. Has to find his teammate. Or the fake out in the open net. Radosin puts it away. K-Corp just went missing.
It was then he was up. Radosin round the corner. I don't think they expected that half rotation from Radosin, especially this late in the series, this late in the day. Vitality playing aggressively still to this moment and returning their lead.
2-1 now, Vitality. 3 minutes on the clock. This is an all-important game, number 5. You'll be going up to match point, series point, regional point here. If you can take this one out, Exotic almost gets a touch. Radosin blocks it out. Feels like every avenue's blocked by both sides here. As Vatira gets a 50-50, tries to get another one. Itachi with a huge pinch. When I say huge, I mean not very big at all. As Alpha 54 has to rotate out there. Radosin's in the corner. Vitality trying to get another goal, their third of the game, and perhaps a little bit of a spacer in between this lineup here. Zen off the corner. He loves it over here. Shot on net. Itachi blocks it out, but they're still in a little bit of strife here, K-Corp. Vitality pushing forward, going for these pinches. Finally, they find some room to breathe.
I'd say Zen's looking a little bit greedier, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. It's a good thing for Vitality when he's desperate for the ball. Look at him already up, calling off Radosin, getting the flip reset, and teeing Radosin up into the skies. Karmine Corp dealing with Zen so far, although they are behind in this game. Have to change that quick. Itachi, the double tap. It's looking good. It's looking brilliant, but the finish wasn't quite there. Alpha can dribble away. How much more damage can this be to Karmine Corp? Not that much as Exotic catches.
Yeah, Itachi just got a little bit impatient there. That shot it's pretty simple, I'd say. I don't mean that with a lack of respect for him, but he just rushed himself a little bit. That's what Vitality's defense can do. You just know you don't have too much time to work with. Couldn't quite get the angle, couldn't get the equalizer, but there's still a minute 30 left. There's still a lot of time remaining, and well, if I know Vatira Cole, he'll be wanting to get that equalizer and put him to the sword.
Yeah, he'll want to be the man. He's storing his 100 boost. Really good reserves at the moment for Karmine Corp. If they can just get hold of this ball, but Vitality aren't letting them have it. It's Radosin, he's coming in again. Vatira, he's waiting so awkwardly underneath this one. And Exotic was a little bit too close to the ball as well, so couldn't do too much with the save. Alpha's turn to the sky. Exotic, though, calls him out.
Oh, no way.
Then starts backwards. He gets the flip reset, but Vatira was up there with him.
Just feels like K-Corp running so low on boost, but they found a way out. They found an opportunity. Radosin gets a huge touch. Double demo. We've got a 2v2 briefly. Crew battles is imminent. As now they both spawn out. Crisis averted there. Don't worry, we're still in the 3v3. Vatira pushing forward. Zen's a little bit awkward in the corner. Vatira trying to get the double blocked out. Exotic. Itachi demoed here. Last man. This is big trouble. But he does find a huge 50-50. Zen has to bail out his team. Both sides stepping up when it counts.
That's Itachi's job, dealing with moments like that, but it's been left completely open now. Vitality get a 2-goal lead. It might actually be the first 2-goal lead of this series.
K-Corp perhaps pushing a little too hard there. There was still 30 seconds on the clock, but Itachi found himself underneath Exotic. Vatira hadn't rotated back in time. And the overcommit there from K-Corp means that Vitality, with a 2-goal lead, surely have locked away this game number 5.
Oh, you say that, but Exotic almost got himself on the score sheet. Itachi couldn't quite get it around the corner the way he wanted. Vatira's going on. Karmine Corp still going. They want to do a little bit more damage at least before we go over to Neo Tokyo. It's Itachi, but they're running out of time. And it does seem like Vitality are going to be able to just relax for 5 seconds or so. The first time they've been able to do it at any point in this series. Unless there's a goal here, it'll be a slightly sweaty kickoff. It's not going to be. And Team Vitality, via that Radosin double tap, do go within 1 game.
They've broken the overtime streak as well, so we can be a little bit sad about that one in chat, ladies and gentlemen. But Vitality, that was a clinical game. And have a look at this guy. MVP of the regional for Vitality with 2 goals. MVP, as we said, for this game. 6 shots on the board as well. He's been enormous. He's even scoring goals for K-Corp. That's how much he's feeling at this guy.
I'm starting to forgive him for moving away from the Team Vitality decal just a bit. If he can win this regional as well, I'll say fair play, Radosin. You knew what you were doing, and he knew what he was doing there as well. As soon as he caught that ball, it was like the Karmine Corp Red Sea had parted, just punched it through their defense and gave Vitality the lead that ended up being the winner. But you can see there the wipe of sweat. This is just pure pressure for these players.
I mean, I'm exhausted, so I can't help but feel sorry for the players right now. But, I mean, they won't be worried about that at all. They're running on pure adrenaline, both sides. It's all about rivalry at this point. It's ego, it's pride on the line. And as we said, Vitality getting the huge go-ahead game, 3-2 up. They got reversed. They got beat in the first series, should I say. Bracket reset, but they don't want K-Corp to complete the job here. They've got 1 game to get the job done, or we might have Champ Field.
I am praying to the heavens that we are going to get Champions Field at the end of this series. We said it all the way back in Game 1. We said it all the way back in goal number 1, CJ. This had Champions Field stamped all over it. The Champions Field announcer was saying, hey, this one's coming over to me soon. But Karmine Corp have to make that happen, and they have to make it happen in the next 5 minutes.
There's nothing stronger than plot armor. It's stronger than diamonds here, and well, Vitality, it'd take a super player, maybe the likes of Zen, to break this. But potentially, it just feels destined for a Game 7. But I'm sure Vitality, should I say, have other ideas right now.
Oh,
Not another
Radosin!
own goal. Please,
Mate!
Radosin, still doing that. It is getting ridiculous at this point for Tira. The attack, oh, he's got to get down the other end, almost an open net. Maybe a 200 IQ play in the end by Radosin, but both sides get away scot-free.
Radosin, the scariest man in the RLCS right now. Give him the ball at your peril if he's on your team. Gets away with this one. Team Vitality have started to deal with it. They've wheeled out the whiteboard and it said, beware Radosin. It remains 0-0.
This is phenomenal. I'm not sure what we're witnessing here, but what I do know is that Radosin's on the ball and he's moving in the right direction. Zen, he's got a flip reset. He's got no boost. Fakes it out. Alpha, pass across. Radosin pops it up. Exotic underneath it. 50-50 out again. K-Corp trying to find a way out of net. Itachi, no boost to work with. Zen just being an absolute pest. But they do find an avenue out.
Radosin couldn't quite get there in time, and Exotic chain dashes his way around the corner. Itachi, he's going to win this one cleanly. What can he do with it? Just not too much, because he doesn't have enough boost. That's devastating for Karmine Corp. I saw his car, I saw his position, I saw the ball before, I saw his boost count. That could have been big, but he does at least manage to keep the play alive. Radosin's underneath this one and sends it back. Karmine Corp to me, CJ. Look, the more dangerous team.
Oh, absolutely right now, but I'm not sure if Radosin is on the right team. What is he doing? He's feeling the nerves, feeling the pressure. As K-Corp are applying it everywhere on the pitch right now. Zen gets a huge clear. Alpha 54 tried to pre-jump the pass, but it was too big for him as well. As Zen, huge double touch. Exotic's ready for it. You just have to be ready for everything right now. When Zen's in trouble, a huge miss from K-Corp as Zen opens it up.
Zen has scored some pretty good goals in his RLCS career already. That's not really one of them. The ball bouncing in just adds insult to injury for Karmine Corp, who have to come back yet again from a goal behind.
Not only did Vatira miss the first touch, but he just couldn't quite get it out of that top corner either. Now they're 1-0 down. They've done it before, though. They can do it again here as Radosin. We're still trying to work out which team he's on. We'll let you know at the end of this series as Zen goes off the sidewall. He's going to get the skin, but blocked out by Vatira. He's starting to step up,
done.
going for the ball chase. Mindset, open net.
Oh!
Has to finish that. It's got to be a goal down the other end. Unless Vatira makes a huge save.
Oh,
It just had to be 1-1.
couldn't quite get it. He'll keep on coming though. Itachi flips resets over Zen. Can't quite tee up Exotic. Vatira's going to come this time. Catches it, but closed down by Alpha. A flash and Alpha is there. Vatira has the ball. He has boost. If he can send this one to the right. It's a little bit wide, but so's Zen's touch. Vatira almost over the top of Alpha. Mistakes coming in everywhere. It remains 1-0.
Oh, both sides feeling the pressure right now. It should be 1-1 as we said. Itachi should have found the angle, but we've still got 2 minutes left. Shot on net. Is there going to be another follow-up? Itachi with a huge beat out. And now Vatira has boost, has time. Zen's pre-jump does get the touch. And Alpha 54 as well sets it up, but it's straight to Exotic. Itachi's waiting downfield. The huge dunk's just going to go straight in. Alpha 54 says no thank you, and he shuts the door.
The Vitality squeeze is making Karmine Corp and their fans feel almost claustrophobic. Rodosum with his head in his hands. He knows he's had some awkward plays these last couple of games, but credit to him and his team. They have rallied around. They have stepped back up. Team Vitality, 90 seconds away from keeping up their unbeaten regional streak since Zen's come in, but look at that clearance. They're going to have to do more work before they can claim their second title.
K-Corp got the first series, and there's a minute 20 left. 2 goals down to keep their hopes and dreams alive here in the Spring Cup. Exotic gets to work. Alpha 54 blocks him out. There's Itachi in the corner. He's buying time. He gets a huge 50-50. Alpha has to make a big touch. Down to Zen. 50-50. And Exotic's in trouble.
Oh!
This could be it. You betcha. Zen gets credited, and Vitality get their third.
More heads in hands from Team Vitality. They know they've been under a massive battle. There was a mistake from Exotic, but the damage was already done by the Team Vitality press. They are now so close. Maybe there's one more roll of the dice from Karmine Corp.
Feels like the writing's on the wall now for Vitality. Is Alpha 54 going to put the nail in the coffin? No, he can't. Zen's there with boost. A lot of boost to work with the touch. He gets the 50-50. We're coming down now to 45 seconds left. It feels like K-Corp is just... They've fallen in a heap. Itachi's awkward, and the fourth goes through. Vitality, they're just going to get their second regional of the split.
It was never in doubt. Surely they were always going to win. It's Team Vitality, for goodness sake. They've brought Zen in. No team can put them under any pressure. Until Karmine Corp, they get the first series. They get the couple of games against them. But I think they just run out of energy, CJ. They had to do it through the lower bracket. It's been a monumental battle for the blue wall just to reach here. And I'll tell you what as well, the blueprint they have set will be studied when other teams come up against Team Vitality.
It just goes to show it's one thing to beat Vitality once, but to do it twice over is just something that maybe not even the best can do right now. As with 18 seconds left, it's just party time right now for Vitality. Itachi's going to keep the ball out of net, but I mean, what a performance. What a response here in the bracket reset. 7 seconds on the clock. This is just all Vitality's game. It's all their series, and it is all their tournament. Boy's got to stay alive. They're just going to ruin the moment.
Keep it going, mate. Keep it going.
Finally, is it got to hit the ground? There it is. Surely, Team Vitality, they go back to back. Vatira says GG's deserved. And the new Kings have well and truly cemented their spot right at the top.
Radosin gets a well-needed hug there from Coach Farah. Brilliant management from Farah overall. Their tweaks, their changes to their playstyle worked flawlessly against Karmine Corp.